Welcome back to Keep It Real Boxing. This is Cypherbox. Dominic Breazeale has spoken to Sky Sports and he has stated that he's willing to fight Dillian Whyte next. He's willing to put his mandatory challenger's position that he has for Deontay Wilder's WBC belt on the line and fight Dillian Whyte. Okay? He's the one who's calling out Dillian Whyte. He's saying, look, I'm willing to come over to the UK and do it again and fight in the UK. He enjoyed fighting in the UK, he said, and he's willing to put everything on the line against Dillian Whyte. Okay, Dillian Whyte, as you know, he's been complaining, moaning, crying. Oh, I should be the mandatory challenger, number one mandatory challenger. I'm the number one contender. I did a long video on it yesterday, exposing all the nonsense around that whole story, that whole narrative. And Dillian Whyte and his complaints. Dillian Whyte didn't want to fight Luis Ortiz for the final eliminator for the second mandatory challenger's position against for Deontay Wilder's WBC belt. He didn't want to do that. He doesn't want to have a rematch with Derek Chisora. We know that, so he's ducked Ortiz, he's ducked Chisora in a rematch because I felt Chisora beat him in the first fight, to be honest with you, by 1 or 2 rounds, personally. I think Luis Ortiz is a good fight as well, but he don't want it. He's the one, but yet he's the one turning around and saying that he'll smash Ortiz to bits, etc. and stuff like that, but yet he still doesn't want to have that fight. He was supposed to fight Pulev in Bulgaria in a IBF final eliminator, decided he didn't want that fight because he didn't want to travel to Bulgaria, right? In the end, settled for Joseph Parker here in the UK in his comfort zone. I think he thought it was going to be an easy fight for him. It turned out to be a tough fight for him. He nearly got knocked out in the 12th round. Yes, I had Dillian Whyte winning that fight at the end of the fight. 113, 112. I agreed with 2 of the judges who were scoring that fight. But it was a close fight. And he's lucky because another 30 seconds and, you know, Joseph Parker would have knocked him out. And I think he thought it was going to be an easy fight than Luis Ortiz. You know, basically he was trying to cherry pick in a sense, or hand pick his opponent. That's just my personal opinion of Dillian Whyte. But all this complaining and whining that he's been doing, all this crying, he talks about how he wants to be, he'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. Yet you wouldn't go to Bulgaria to fight Pulev. Yet you won't fight Ortiz. You won't fight Chisora in a rematch. You thought you were going to get an easy fight with Joseph Parker. It turned out to be a tougher fight than he expected. You know, he talks the talk. He does a lot of talking, but where's the action? So here's an opportunity. You've been moaning and complaining about your beef with the WBC and that you should be the mandatory challenger. Well, here you go. Let's settle it. Fight Dominic Breazeale. Dominic Breazeale says he's looking to fight in October, I believe, or is it October, November, end of this year anyway. You know, he wants to fight. He wants to keep himself active, obviously. And he's willing to fight, come over here to the UK and fight Dillian Whyte. I think it's a perfect resolution to all this fussing and crying and moaning that Dillian Whyte's been doing. Take the fight. Let's see it happen. You know, if he doesn't take this opportunity against Dominic Breazeale, seriously, do you know what? You know, I'm going to stop taking Dillian Whyte as a serious as a contender, as a heavyweight contender. Because like I said, you ducked Ortiz, you ducked Chisora, ducked Pulev in Bulgaria, and you know, fought Joseph Parker because you thought it was going to be an easy fight. Turned out it wasn't. And now you got Dominic Breazeale saying, look, I'll come over there, I'll fight you, and we can settle all of this. Simple as that. He's looking for a challenge. Dillian Whyte is a challenge. Now, Dillian Whyte might turn around and say, oh, well, we offered him last year and he didn't want to fight us. He doesn't really want to fight me. Well, when Hearn offered Dominic Breazeale the chance to fight Dillian Whyte last year, they only gave Dominic Breazeale 3 weeks notice. That's why he turned it down. You know, this time I think Dominic Breazeale is saying, look, I'll have a full camp. As long as I have a full camp, I'm willing to fight Dillian Whyte. So let's see it happen. And if Dominic Breazeale isn't telling the truth, or he is lying, that he doesn't actually want, he's just all talk, call his bluff. Try and make the fight happen. Let's see what happens. Anyway, that's all I've got for you on this one. As always, guys, like, share and subscribe. Until next time, this is Cypherbox reminding you to keep it real.